which kind of got us over that hump, and they helped facilitate our meetings and actually help us improve the development of the plan. And so our current members right now, and they change depending on which area we're looking at, but currently we have, of course, the original members, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, and Tahoma Audubon, Crystal Kyer, and I'm actually representing her today. She's our fearless leader. And UW Nature Mapping, Metro Parks, Tacoma, Watershed Coalition, Watershed Council. And this is where we, when we did the BioBlitz, the Friends of the Lower White River, who Gene Fancher is the leader of, started at that point. These are community groups, the Friends of Lower White River and the Crescent Valley Alliance, and these other areas which we're going to be focusing on a little bit more later in our plan. So, the next slide, where we are right now, is our proposal was accepted at the same time that the rest of yours was in July. We completed a 2014 and 2015 work plan and budget. Our first year of funding was approved. We reinitiated monthly meetings, and we have announced a coordinator position, which is really important if you're going to engage all of these communities. You have to have a consistent face out there that are working with the various communities and can coordinate this, which is really important when you're looking at an area from Berkeley to Sumner. And we drafted a memorandum of understanding as to how we were going to operate and distribute funds. Next slide. And so our short-term goals, we're going to focus, as I said, on the Lower White River first. And our goal is to fill that coordinator position. So if you know of any good person out there, we've got a...
Linda Burgess.
I'm retired. We're going to execute the MOU. We want to re-engage the jurisdictions. And the way that we're doing that initially, again, as I said, it's a very difficult task when you're trying to coordinate communities through very different cities, from Buckley to Auburn to Sumner, Pacific. It's very, very different. And so we thought that it was really important to have the cities provide a leadership role and kind of a focus point for these groups to work from. And so we're taking advantage of the 2015 comp plan amendment cycle now. And we felt that that was a really good place to start, and we're trying to get incorporated into the comprehensive plan amendments goals for biodiversity preservation. Because right now, the comp plan focuses on, fish and wildlife and critical areas and some of the, clean water and all that stuff. But they don't really look at it as a whole. Biodiversity kind of is kind of that overall system that really connects all of those concepts. And so over the last, I think that was the last slide anyway. Over the last few weeks, we've reviewed the comprehensive plans for all of these cities, and we've taken a stab at adding amendments or putting in some language in terms of adding biodiversity into the various sections. And we have been going to the Planning Commission meetings where, of course, that process begins. And we're trying to focus on the vision, kind of the values section of the comprehensive plan, because a lot of the community members don't even realize that they live in a city that has this unique biodiversity area that not everyone has, and it's can very quickly degenerate. And so we want to focus on trying to get something in their value statement, and also in the environmental section, adding biodiversity. And we're trying to have our plan the Lower White River Stewardship Plan be added as an appendix, which has, which identifies the stressors and the strategies, and use that as a reference so that they can develop their own community plan, and also when they're doing their development regulations and land use planning, they can use that as a reference to incorporate some of these ideas. And so, so I've been going to a lot of commission meetings. In fact, Sumner's was last night, and I'm getting, some support. I need to, we need to assure them that this isn't some wacky idea, and that other jurisdictions do have this in their comprehensive plans. And since a lot of the cities want to add sustainability and some of those new concepts into their plan, this is a way to initiate it. And so that's kind of where we are. Any questions? Yes.
You mentioned bioblitzes as a way of getting at some of the planning. Are there plans to have those be ongoing?
Yes, it takes a lot of coordination work. I mean, it's not expensive, but the coordination is really great because you have to plan to have these biologists come into it. Well, first of all, you've got to identify and have the landowners agree to have their land inventory. And so you have to kind of scope that out ahead of time. And then you have to have these different experts. I mean, bat experts, mammal experts, bird experts have to come into the area. You have to have a place for them to stay overnight. They have to lay their traps out the night before or whatever they're going to do, and then feed them, and and so it's a great coordination effort. But it's a really fun place to do it too, and also you gain community support and you get the press involved, and so yeah, and it's important because you want to measure, if what's happening in that area, so you have sort of a baseline, and then you want to do it maybe every 5 years or so.
A really quick question. I think there's like 6 or so BMAs within the Puyallup watershed. Have you talked about what other ones might be important to look at?
Yes, we're going to, Jordan?
Yep.
What's the second one we were talking about?
Was it Clearwater?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
Clearwater.
because there's a lot of forest. There's a lot of forest there that's quick, as Jordan mentioned, is quickly going away, and so we want to get in there next. It's just that we had worked so much on the Lower White River, we didn't want what work we had already started on to kind of deteriorate. So yeah, we're anxious to work with the forest biodiversity interest in that.
Is the Muckleshoot tribe cooperating?
To the extent that they can. I mean, I don't know how to say that. I mean, yes, but no. They're not actively involved, but they're interested in what we're trying to do.